These are 2 tires high. If I was a more industrious person, they could be maybe 6 tires high and have a lot more potatoes in them. I don't know if we're going to get much potatoes or not. But it's very good because it conserves the water. You don't have to do much watering, or you don't have to do much of anything with them. Protects them from frost and stuff as well. So now it's time to see if we've got some potatoes. We've probably got some potatoes. I did take 1 out already. And some people reckon you should just knock the stack down and fish around in it. But I kind of like to just put my arm in like a lucky dip and see what I get. So if something comes into my hands, I'm taking it. There's none of it. Okay, that's the seed potato right there. And there's the little sprouts that are out of it when you plant it. And here's the way the babies form, the tubers.
What is the science behind this?
I don't know about science. I think it's more of an art. It's called colcannon, and it's mashed potato. It's sort of roughly mashed potato with salt, pepper and cabbage. It should be kale really, but cabbage mashed through it, and butter, and you make it into a little volcano shape like this, and then you put your butter in the little hole in the top and it melts and runs down the side. It's not exactly health food, but it's a very tasty thing. We've had donkeys here for the last 6 or 7 years. We've had various different donkeys through the place. They're basically sanctuary donkeys, they're rescued donkeys, and they're pretty happy here, I think. And just at the moment we have a donkey called Dovey, a donkey mare. She's maybe 22 years old, something like that, and her foal, Bridie, and Bridie is what in Ireland is called a jinnet. It's a hinny, I think, is the more standard term for it, which is a half donkey, half pony foal, who's quite a character and quite an escaper, and made it urgent for that fencing work to be done. And we have a young gelding called Tolly. We're still burning old wood, rotten timbers that came out of the house. Basically the whole place was rotten when we came in, so there's been a lot of kind of shifting the final remnants of that, and getting them ready for burning.
Oh, very nice. Excellent. I'll just put out of the shop glass and stuff. We'll take them down there. Will you give me a hand? Oh, God!
Okay, it's down now. It's much safer. If we want to sit, we can bring chairs, you know. You still need to keep a bit away from it just because it's so hot.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Good fire, yeah. I'm not particularly concerned with exerting a lot of control over the environment, which is what I think gardening is really about now. If all my wishes came true and I was here a lot more, I would probably have to do a lot more gardening and exert a lot more control over the environment, because I would need to for food. If I wasn't working, if I wasn't bringing in my income from elsewhere, I would need to make more food happen here. And and I dare say I would enjoy it. I think a lot of the time what happens with the kind of gardening mentality is people get the space and the first thing they do is they get in there and they clear everything that's there already, and it's a way of kind of claiming the space, you know, and you could do that. Yeah, maybe I'll do some of that someday when I have the time to put into maintaining it, but in the meantime I kind of like it the way it is, and I want to learn to live with it and get what I need out of it and not disturb it more than I have to. Gardening is like housework.
Well,
No matter what you do, you have to get up and do it again tomorrow.
well, you know, actually, I don't think gardening is at all like housework, because you don't get the glug glug glug, but you do get that curl of a new shoot,
Yeah.
which is pretty awesome,
Yeah.
right? And you do
Yeah,
get
you do. That's true.
popping a pea pod on your pea plant, and that's just, and like eating your peas. It's just fabulous. Do you know what I mean? And you get to kind of play in the muck a bit. Do you know what I mean? You can just be like kind of not. It's there's something very childlike about being able to do that. You know. So what do I like most about living here? I mean, living in the countryside and living here, which may be two different things, is the space. Mostly is the space. I mean, when I first came here, it was so big. It was so big compared to having lived in cities and towns and stuff, and so noisy. Do you know what I mean? Like weird animal noises and stuff. But it was the space is creative. Do you know? It's a space to be able to create in. Part of it is having the connection to the natural world, so the like seeing the rhythm of the seasons, or seeing the rhythm of what grows. Like, I mean, I grow stuff, I don't grow with any great farming intent or anything, do you know, and a lot of me pleasure in growing is simply seeing things grow and eating them, ideally. But do you know what I mean? It's the having helped something spring forth, or having, you know, it's very hard ground here, having broken the ground enough that something can grow in it is kind of inspirational. So that really impacts, I guess, on my writing and other kind of artistic endeavours. I think the impact of where you live or where you spend your time is huge. Like, I've lived in high rises and I found the negative impact of that really quite strong, do you know? And as it changed, yeah, I guess it changed who I was at those times. Like, you behave differently in different places, you act differently, and I think to some extent that makes you be different. It's easier to be natural in the country, I think. It takes a lot more time living in the country. There's a lot more to be done. Do you know? To my surprise, there's actually sort of less free time for creativity. Making such a big cultural shift like this, and from urban to rural, is that it will take you at least 5 years to settle. And you know, I moved a lot. I've moved a lot. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I don't really grand, you know, we settled down again and stuff. But actually, it did take 5 years, almost to the day, for me to suddenly walk out the door one day and go, oh no, I live here. Do you know? So be patient, I guess, is what that is. Be patient with it. Right?